Hey there, comic book fans. I just figured I'd take a look at something tonight. And this is the Steve Ditko Marvel Visionaries book. The hardcover that I took out of the library. And I think this is out of print, but they have a softcover version of it. But I kind of always wanted to get this, but never did. So I was like, you know what? I may as well take it out of the library. So here it is. I'm not even 100% sure what is in it. Got all that stuff in it. I figured I'd just flip through it though and see what shows up. Let's see here. Introduction by Blake Bell, whoever that might be. Dream World. This is I think this is one of those amazing adult fantasy stories. On a 9-panel grid happening. Yeah, this is I used to have a hardcover collection of the complete amazing adult fantasy series, 1 to 15, with all the stuff before the Spider-Man story. Grinning monster face there. So this is sort of the Atlas era stuff. And the stories were okay. I remember an amazing adult fantasy. They were pretty solid. It was the storytelling that was the most, well, I like that splash. There were usually 8-page stories, a splash, and then, 7 pages. As you can see, you've got that 9-panel grid. Nice little sequence there, even breaking it down smaller. Looks good at this slightly larger than comic book size. Help! Oh, I like that face there too. Good stuff. Got the help story. Yes, I don't. This is either the late 50s or the early 60s. This stuff. Well, since let's see, Amazing Fantasy, that must have been 1960, I think. So this is all his, post-code horror. But that amazing adult fantasy, they were actually trying to... It's the Mad Balls. They're actually trying to make comics for adults in that case, so... Amazing adult fantasy, there we go. Willie Lumpkin-esque character. Oh, there's a nice little sequence. Goodbye to Linda Brown. Alright, goodbye, Linda Brown. What else do we have here? The Unsuspecting. Nice drama in that figure right there and the television. Monster, aliens, ghosts. Who's this? I Am Not Human. Oh, look, an Iron Man type character. That looks vaguely familiar. It was Ditko who redesigned the Iron Man armor to be that red and gold stuff. Looking a little more like this. Slender armor rather than the bulky. Then of course we go to Amazing Spider-Man #1. Why wouldn't this be in here? We all know Amazing Spider-Man #1. Only one story from it, though. Then the Hulk issue 6. This is when he took over the Hulk. I think he did the Hulk after he got into Tales of Suspense too. I have these in one of the Fireside books, the trade paperbacks from the 70s. I got it when I was a kid. I always liked these Steve Ditko Hulk stories and some early Gil Kane Hulk stories, and of course the Kirby ones. Fun little jumping sequence. You never see stuff like this anymore. I think it's it's considered old-fashioned or something. Now superheroes just stand there and brood a lot. Not a lot of multiple panels of them doing something. Well, I mean, you didn't get it a ton back in this day either, but occasionally you would get it. Hulk, I'm going to break out of this room. No, you're not. There's one happy Rick Jones. I don't know, some of these panels just jump out at me sometimes. I would use my mind blast on you, the Metal Master. Yeah, little Hulk stuff. Let's see what else is in here. This is a full-length Hulk issue. Oh, the origin of Doctor Strange. I like this Doctor Strange costume when it was black. There's once again, there's a Fireside Doctor Strange book from the late 70s that I've had since I was a kid. And it's one of my favorite printings of the Doctor Strange stuff. Because it kind of looks like old newsprint, but it was a better, whiter paper, not quite, a little sharper than newsprint. So that's kind of my favorite Doctor Strange printing. There's that Iron Man. That's the Iron Man armor that Ditko redesigned. You can see it's a little bit like that gray. The mysterious Mr. Doll. Doesn't look that mysterious. I guess there's Iron Man's old gold armor we get first in here. Man, I don't even remember why he was redesigning his armor. There we go. I always kind of liked that V shape in his head with the lines behind it. It didn't stick around for a long time, but some artists did a nice job with it. Back when his faceplate would swing up. Doesn't look like the hinge quite works right, but the Spider-Man Annual, the Sinister 6. This is I don't know if I've ever read this annual. I must have, but I haven't read it in so long that I've forgotten it. But everybody loves the Sinister 6. Even though I think they're really only around for this one annual, if memory serves. It's not like they were a regular team or anything. They were just like, yeah, we should all defeat Spider-Man. Well, I like that J. Jonah Jameson picture. Some nice drawing there. Oh, there's that classic full-page shot that they use all the time. Oh, nice shot with nice ground level shot with the leopard and Kraven the hunter. Oh, did we get a? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. We get a full-page pinup with all of the villains. I think. Wow, this must have blown kids away when it first came out in the 60s. All of the Sinister 6 get their own splash page pinup. Very cool. You know what? I'm not sure if I ever actually read this. Because it doesn't... I don't remember all these pinups. I'm sure I would have remembered them. So maybe I never actually read this annual. Who knows? It's been so long since I've read the Ditko Spider-Man. I know I read the first 20 issues as a kid in those pocket books, but I read bits and pieces after that because it used to not be easy to... They didn't reprint these everywhere. Now you can get them, of course. This has been reprinted a few times. How We Create Spider-Man. A classic. Oh, Dormammu. Some more. Ooh, look at that face. Nice Ancient One face. I like this panel too with the Ancient One and Doctor Strange. Good stuff. Let's see what else is in here. Good. This is when he still had that black costume. Before he had the cloak of levitation, which became red. I like the black costume. Super tall collar. I like that Clea drawing too. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, good Dormammu drawing. Or Dormammu, I never knew how to say his name right. I always loved this fun magic stuff. I always loved these mindless ones too. They just kind of look cool as they just shamble and hit you with their eye beams. I kind of always liked eye beams. Just any character that shoots beams out of their eyes. It's like they look at you and they shoot beams out. What's this? Spider-Man 31. If this be my destiny. What are these goofballs? And their purple outfits. I don't remember. Looks like Meteor Man. Wasn't he around at this time? Wasn't he the last villain that Ditko created? Meteor Man, he had a giant balloon that he shot up into the air in. There's a nice panel with a ton of figures on it. I'm studying. Good page, good page. Oh wow, lots of balloons, lots of figure work on these pages. Wow, that's a lot of balloons. What was Stan Lee doing? Holy cow, that's a lot of balloons. I don't remember Spider-Man having this many balloons on any given issue. There's a lot in this issue. Man, oh, look at that page. A library book. Some ripped pages in it. What issue is this? 32. On a rampage. Oh, what? There's a good panel. Take a look at that one. Good stuff. Nice. Nice! Ooh, good. Good partial silhouette on Dr. Octopus there. There he is. Doc Ock shows up. Oh no, he's trapped under the rubble. Ah, this is the famous lifting the rubble off him issue. Oh, pardon me, 33 is the famous lifting the rubble off him issue. This is the issue that back when, look, oh wow, 2 pages of him trapped. When this first came out, I never, was I alive when this first came out? I don't even think so. It was before my time. But this was the issue that was sort of the climax for everybody who was reading Spider-Man at the time, that they talked about all the time. This is when he became the true hero, sort of the end of his hero's journey story arc. I'm gonna punch the air. Since everybody's falling down. She is not happy. Oh man, that's because Spider-Man, Peter Parker's got his ass kicked. I'm not complaining, and I'm not quitting my work either. It's too dangerous for Betty Brant. Some more Doctor Strange, Strange Tales 146 we're up to. The end at last. Eternity. Who's inking this? That inks are looking really thin. I gotta look. I'm not... Steve Ditko inked this himself? Or did we change? That's looking thinner than his usual inks. Daredevil 162. Oh, I remember. I have this on my shelf. This is an issue I bought way back in 1979. This is right about when I started buying Daredevil. I remember this. This was like a fill-in issue of Daredevil that Ditko drew. Kerpow! Not Ditko's greatest work. When he was doing fill-in stuff in the late 70s and early 80s. Oh, this is pretty neat. Steve Ditko inking himself again. Wasn't always my favorite in this time period. But it's still pretty... And like as the 80s drew on, a lot of like the new guys wanted to ink Ditko, so he ended up being inked by a lot of interesting people. But yeah, you don't usually see much Ditko. Oh, look at that, there's a page missing. Library book. Don't know who's inking him. Is that John Byrne inking him? I can't tell. Oh, this is definitely somebody, not Ditko, inking Ditko. Ooh, I wonder if it'll tell us up here. What is it? That's Speedball. Speedball. Scripter Steve. Inker Jackson Geis is inking him on that. Okay. Cool. Let's go back to that now and see some more. Oh, that's still that Daredevil. Jackson Geith inking him. That's interesting. Like I said, a lot of people wanted to ink Ditko because he was, you know, one of their favorites. So here's a Speedball story. Some pretty nice design in that stuff too, with all those little circles, but Speedball never caught on. Nice Ditko drawing there. Oh, I like that one. The color really makes it. Let's see. What do we end with? We end with Iron Man. Steve Ditko plot, pencils, and inks. Okay, so he's doing all the drawing on this Iron Man story. The Coming of Squirrel Girl. Ah, okay. That is how crazy Squirrel Girl looked in the beginning. Before she became the cute character she is now. She was just this crazy, nutty character who defeated Dr. Doom. Let's look at some of these covers in the end. Can we look at that goofy Squirrel Girl face for a minute? So there we go. There's that unused cover. Unused cover from Spider-Man number 10. And some Ditko sketches. I've seen that one before. Promo piece. Alright, so there you go. That was it. Just wanted to take a little look at that. The Steve Ditko Marvel Visionaries book. There you go.